I think San Antonio right now is the most overrated team left in the NBA playoffs. This is Brad Powers in the pregame.com studios just off the Vegas Strip. We're talking Game 3 of the Western Conference semifinals. We have San Antonio at Houston.
Amazingly, the Spurs were minus 270 to win this series. Wrong team favored?
I think so, and I like Houston in this one. And keep in mind, we are taping this on Wednesday night. Game 2 is still going on, so let's call it my buy price for game number 3 at Houston minus 4 or less. Why do I like this Houston team in this game? I think they're underrated. And a lot of it goes back to how they finished the regular season. Let's be honest. Everyone's focused on March Madness. That wraps up in early April. People start paying full 100% attention to the NBA. And what do they see? They see the Rockets in their last 9 games go 0-8-1 against the number. They downgrade them in the power ranks, and they shouldn't have. Because Houston, those games were rather meaningless for them. They were already locked into the number 3 seed in the West. And because they've downgraded them, Houston has far exceeded expectations so far in the playoffs, and that's why I like them here in Game 3.
Yeah, and I really didn't downgrade them much at all at the end of the year, and I've got them back up. In fact, Golden State's obviously number 1 in everyone's power ratings. I have Houston tied for the second best team right now, my power ratings, in the NBA. They're at their zenith, and you got to love their unique style play.
Yeah, I do. And that unique style of play being their terrific three-point shooting for the season, number 1 in the NBA. They made 14 three-pointers each and every game. And what happened in the first round series? They actually had a terrible performance from behind the arc. They had no game where they hit more than 11 from three-point range. And in fact, in the closeout game number 5, Fez, they were 6 out of 37 from three-point range, one of their worst performances of the season. So you shouldn't have been that surprised that they bounced back in a big way game 1.
Yeah, and talk about an analytics team. I heard over 90% of Houston's points come from behind the three-point line, in the paint, or from the free throw line. So this team knows how to win. Let's talk about the Spurs, though. Some serious problems for the Spurs bigs. A lot of age on those players, right?
Yeah, you got Paul Gasol. He's 36. Lee's 34. Aldridge, in fact, is up to 31 years of age. And because Houston spreads you out and all their players, at least 4 of them, can shoot from behind the arc, it means those bigs for San Antonio got to get out and guard. They waste a lot of energy, and they're just not willing to do that. Obviously, it's so advanced in their careers.
And Parker and Ginobili, the shorter guys, aren't exactly getting carded at the bars anymore, are they?
No, they're not. Not only is San Antonio's front court one of the oldest, backcourt's one of the oldest. You got Ginobili at 39 years old, Tony Parker's 34, so an aging, regressing San Antonio team.
Your second key handicap.
Yeah, let's talk San Antonio. I mentioned it at the top. I think they're overrated. In fact, with all the teams left in the NBA playoffs, they're the most overrated. This is a team that's living off past glory, and I've seen a massive downgrade, at least from their playoff performances so far this year. I'm going to mention a couple of examples. Game number 3, they lose to Memphis. It was kind of understandable because Memphis, that was their all-out effort after the post-game conference from their coach, those comments. So game 4, what happens? Well, San Antonio usually rebounds. If you've been following San Antonio basketball the last 20 years, so the public's on them, the sharps are on them, we're on them, the line moves 2 points, and they lose that game. In fact, that game was actually misleading. It had no business even going to overtime if it wasn't for Kawhi Leonard, so horrible performance there. And then game 1 against Houston. San Antonio Fest, 13 of their last 13 game 1 performances at home, they won all 13 of them. So what happens? They have arguably their worst performance in playoff history, in franchise history.
Yeah, so we talked about Houston going up in my power ratings from 6 points better than an average team up to 6.5. Well, 2 teams are going in opposite directions. I started the Spurs 7 points better. They're down to 6.5, and they're dropping as we speak. And you know what? This is a bad matchup for them as well.
Yeah, and I think after this Game 3 performance, I think you're going to continue to adjust those power ratings. And I think after Houston wins and covers here, it's going to continue that regression for San Antonio and the ascension for Houston.
I love it. Let's make it official.
Yeah, let's make this one official. Houston, we're going to take it. We're taping this on Wednesday, and we'll call my buy price at -4 or less for Game 3. Houston's underrated. Here's a team that finished the regular season. They didn't cover any of their last 9 games. Markets downgraded them. They were wrong. Meanwhile, San Antonio is overrated. They're living off past glory. And let's face it, this team, their aging stars aren't the same, and it's actually not getting accounting for in the marketplace. Add it all up, and I'm taking Houston at -4 or less. We'll have more videos at pregame.com.